Hey everyone, welcome back to Season 2, Episode 2 of the Sheffield Wednesday rebuild. So straight into the games for September, where we've had a bit of a rocky start after our win against Luton in round 1. It's been downhill ever since, and our form continues with a 2-1 defeat against Blues. We beat Forest 2-1, which is a great result, but then our away day at Ewood Park ends in a decent draw. Watford, who are expected to do well this season, we hold to a draw, but Bournemouth, our visit to the South Coast, results in a 2-0 loss. Guys, I'd love to hear your feedback on the new thumbnail, so drop a comment, I'd really appreciate it. Moving into October, first game of the month is against my Coventry team, and unfortunately, we lose 3-1. Hopefully Cov will get promoted soon. We face Leeds in the first derby, 2-2 draw, before we go to Carrow Road and pick up a great 1-0 win. Away at Derby, another win. 2 wins back to back is great, but unfortunately Coventry's bogey team Preston proving to be my bogey team with a 2-0 defeat. Lots of derbies during November, so we face Rotherham, who we came up with last year, and we get a 2-2 draw. Huddersfield was our next local derby. Lots of northern teams in the league at the minute, and we get a 2-0 win, which is great. But unfortunately we can't follow that up with another win against Barnsley before we end the month with a defeat against Cardiff. They've been struggling this season, so it's disappointing that we lost that game. Into December now, where we host Reading in the first game of the month. Fortunately we go down to a 1-0 defeat before heading to London for a double header. We get QPR, we get 3 points at Loftus Road, but unfortunately we lose 2-0 at the Den. Away this time to Leeds with a 0-0 draw, done well against Leeds this season, although our home game against Norwich City ends in a 3-1 defeat. Next up was an away day at Middlesbrough, where we pick up a 2-2 draw and another draw at home to Portsmouth, before rounding off the year with a home tie against Barnsley, which we come away with a 4-2 win. Into the youth squad now, Samuel Walker's continuing his development and doing really well. I want to see those physicals a bit higher, and hopefully he can be pushing for the first team. He's definitely a centre back, and Ronnie Kirk, his physicals are through the roof. He's been hitting the gym hard. I'm trying to figure out what's the best position for him, because he looks like he could do a job at centre back, but he could also do a job at wing back with his dribbling and pace, so we'll have to look at that going forward. A few decisions to be made, but for now I'm going to convert him to a centre back and see if we can get that tackling up a bit higher. Next up, Sean Spencer, another CDM. He's also probably going to be a centre back at some point. His passing is just not high enough, but we'll keep focusing on those physicals. Jacob Charlton's been a bit nothing for us really. He's not really developed as quickly as I'd hoped, as with Enrique Peralta. Daniel Garrett, on the other hand, is progressing well, but not quite as quick as Jay Parr, so Jay Parr's more likely to go in. Tyler Barnes is the latest recruit, our first Welshman. Into the league now, and we're 19th after 28 games with 7 wins and 31 points. We're 5 points clear of Cardiff City at the bottom, but we're a bit off the playoffs at the minute. Coventry just outside the playoffs as well, but I think they're a bit out of reach for us this year, but we need to be aiming for that mid-table slot. Chelsea top the Premier League with just 1 defeat from 21 games. Liverpool have only lost 2, Man U have only lost 3. Sheffield United, Fulham and West Brom are the bottom 3. Jumping into League 1, Peterborough lead the way from Wycombe. AFC Wimbledon, Exeter and Fleetwood are propped up by Swindon, which is sad to see because they're my dad's team. Shrewsbury top League 2. Whilst at the bottom we have our next opponents, Tranmere, who we face in the FA Cup, and then Hartlepool. Looking at our team stats, Liam Delap has been fabulous for us. 10 goals in 23 games is amazing, followed up by Russo with 9. Across the team, we delivered quite a few assists across the players, whilst you can see from our appearances that we've got some really good solid players. John Jules only giving us 1 goal in 25 games is a bit disappointing. Vincent continues his development at West Ham, our homegrown hero, unfortunately no longer with us. He is looking fabulous. He's going to develop into a great player. So Svila +1, Voss +1, Cumming +1, Dominguez +2, Schneider +2, Santos +2, Fabry +2, Cardozo +2, Ocadina +1, Vujic on loan +1, Garrett +2, Brooking +2, Castro +2, Key +1, Prata +2. Banan stagnated, but he's retiring at the end of the season, unfortunately. Patino +1, Bashiri +1. Howley is doing really well on loan. Russo's up to an 80, Scott 72, Jones up to 68, John Jules 71, and Delap 71. As always, guys, thanks so much for your support. See you next time.